What we're doing today, like I said, we have a makeup day that we're doing. All four assignments from this section are up and ready to go right now. So if you did not get finished with any of these four assignments, naming ions, ionic compounds, covalent compounds, and then acids from yesterday, they are all open now and ready for you to complete them. Tomorrow, we will start on the quiz. So I have good news and bad news. We're still doing the quiz tomorrow, and we only have a half day Friday. The bad news is the quiz is like 34 questions. I didn't do that. I didn't make the quiz, so just assign it. The reason the quiz is so long is because it covers four sections, and they want to make sure that you're good on all four of these sections. Like I said, this is leading up to stoichiometry, and when they give you stoichiometry problems, some of them will be pretty straightforward. Some of them you will have to go back and use this information to kind of create a formula before you can start to do stoichiometry on it. So it is important that you know these. And obviously, the week that we get back from Thanksgiving, we will have a 3 weeks test. You will see this stuff on the 6 weeks test and on the semester exam. Just be prepared. Make sure that you understand this. Real quick before you get started, I just want to go over the study sheet. Everybody should have a study sheet. If you don't, it's posted to Google Classroom in multiple places. Also, I have some extra paper ones if anybody kind of lost theirs. But some things to remember. They tell you how to name all of these different things. So if it's just an ion, just by itself, no compounds, no other elements, just a single ion, they have the naming up here on whether it's positive or negative. They go through polyatomic ions. So if it has multiple atoms, even if it has oxygen, which is an oxygen ion, they're all listed here. These are some of your common ones. Those are going to be difficult for you to kind of remember, but they do have the list here. We went through the different levels of oxygen ion, and I told you all to take notes over here from most to least oxygens, and usually, but not always, it goes 4, 3, 2, 1 oxygens. So let's use chlorine. Perchlorate would have 4 oxygens. Chlorate would have 3. Chlorite would have 2. And then hypochlorite would only have 1. That's probably some of the most common ones. So if you scroll down, they talk a little bit about ionic compounds versus covalent compounds versus acids. They give you some general information about these and how you kind of determine what comes first in the covalent compound formulas. And then they get into writing. You have 2 decision trees here. Page 3 tells you about naming compounds. Page 4, if they give you the name but want you to write the formula, tells you about writing formulas. And so those are the 2 different sections here. Those are the 2 different sections. We have naming and then writing formulas. So if you're naming, you have 3 different types of names you can have. You can have ionic, you can have covalent, and then you can have acids. So just a brief description of these. An ionic is going to be a metal and a non-metal. You should have 1 metal ion or 1 metal element and 1 non-metal element. They will form together because of positive and negative charges. Covalent is 2 non-metals. So if I have 2 things that are up here in the top right corner of the periodic table where my non-metals are, that's going to be covalent. And to name those, we use the number like assignment for how many elements you have, like dichloride or tetraoxide. So try to remember those. And then acid is what we went over the last class. All the acids that you're dealing with, I don't know about every single one, have hydrogen in them. So if it just has hydrogen and some other element, it's going to be binary. If it has hydrogen, some other element, and oxygen, it's going to be an oxyacid. The binary is pretty easy. You name it hydro plus the non-metal stem plus ic. So like hydrochloric acid. If it has oxygen, you go through this step down, which is just like the other one. Per has the most, and you can write that on your sheet. Most up top, least on the bottom, and almost all the time it goes 4, 3, 2, 1 as far as number of oxygens. So the top one would have 4 oxygens, 3, 2, 1. So you can use this to name your different elements. If they give you the name but ask for the formula, you can come over here, just follow it from left to right, and it tells you what things should be in your formula. So for like the oxyacids, They all have hydrogen, but you don't have the word hydro at the beginning. They all have hydrogen, and then it tells you what kind of oxy and ion to have at the end, so you kind of have to look that up. If you have any questions, let me know. All 4 of those assignments are open right now. So at the very least, make sure you went in and finished all of the questions. If you didn't finish, you might want to go ahead and check it out, because the quiz tomorrow, you might see that question on there. So whenever you get done, find something quietly to do, and don't disturb other people who are working on their assignments.